live from the museum. My name is Shireen.
My name is Eliana.
And we are here to present to you today. Now today's object talk is all on the very special festival, Simchat Torah. Now Simhat is a Hebrew word, but in English it translates to rejoicing. And of course the Torah is the very special Jewish people's holy scroll. So whenever we think about Simchat Torah, we are thinking about rejoicing with the Torah. And that's exactly what we do on this special festival.
Now, the Torah is read on a weekly basis in most synagogues, and it's divided into sections called parashot. And there are about 54 parashot in the Torah. And this lasts about a year, and on an annual cycle. Simchat Torah is the end of reading this annual cycle of the Torah.
So, how is Simchat Torah celebrated? Now, traditionally on Simchat Torah, the Jewish people will read the last parashah of Deuteronomy and the first parashah of Genesis. Now, in many synagogues, as the rabbi walks up to the Aron Kodesh, the cupboard that houses the Torah, and opens it, on Simchat Torah, everyone will begin to celebrate and dance. In some communities, each and every member of the congregation will be invited to step up onto the bimah, the stand where the Torah is read, and look at the Torah as well. Now, before we go and visit the Torah in our collection, first of all, let's have a quick recap on what exactly the Torah is. Over to you, Ellie.
So the Torah is the first 5 books of the Old Testament and what we call the Hebrew Bible. Now, in the Torah, there are many different stories. Stories of Adam and Eve, stories of Moses, stories of Abraham, and stories of God. But the Torah also has commandments in it. There are 613 commandments in the Torah, and that's a lot of commandments. Lots of Jewish people will try and follow as many of the commandments as they possibly can. And lots of Jewish people believe that the Torah is the direct word of God, and so it's so holy. Other Jewish people believe as well that the Torah was written by man but divinely inspired by God. And therefore, this is why we get so many different interpretations of the laws in the Torah.
Now, regardless whether you believe that the Torah is divinely written by God or inspired by God and written by man, nonetheless, for many Jewish people, the Torah is incredibly sacred. And there's a few other things that suggest this as well. Now, number 1, the words in the Torah are never typed on a computer. No, they are handwritten. And they are not handwritten with a pencil or a pen, a felt tip, or even painted. But they are handwritten by a special person called a sofer or a scribe, using a very special quill and special ink. Now, number 2, the Torah is so important that you actually can't touch the words of Torah with your hands. Instead, you will use, thank you, a yad. Now, a yad is a special pointer which helps us read along with the Torah. Now, something else to bear in mind is that the material the Torah is written on is not paper, it's not card, but parchment. Now, parchment is stretched animal skin. And normally it's the skin of perhaps a cow, a calf skin, and even some Torah have been written on deer skin as well. Now that's enough of us talking about the Torah. Now come with us and let's see some of our very special and unique Torah in our collection. So, welcome to the Jewish Museum storerooms. Now, in most museums, you will find storerooms, and that is where the museums store their objects. Now, in actual fact, in the Jewish Museum London, we have over 40,000 objects, but most of them are not on display. No, most of these objects you will find in our storerooms. Now, in our storerooms, as well as across the museum, we have objects linked to Jewish religion, and Jewish history. But of course, the object I want to focus on right now is this object here. Now, can you guess what this object is? That is right, this is a Torah, but a very unique Torah. Now, I'm aware you can't actually see the Torah, or the scroll I should say, behind all of this material. So, let's put some images on the screen. Now, this Torah is 926 millimeters high, 765 millimeters wide, and 287 millimeters deep. It is also written on calfskin, so parchment, as we mentioned before. Now, this Torah is a Sephardi Torah, and that means it has its roots in Spain, Portugal, or North Africa. And this Torah actually has its roots specifically in Morocco in North Africa. Now, unlike most Sephardi Torahs, it is not in a round case. It is not in a case made out of silver or anything like that. But it's in a wooden box with green silk curtains. Extremely unique. The only one of its kind in the museum, and definitely one of my favourite. But enough about this Torah. Let's go downstairs to look at a Torah in our learning collection.
Welcome to our learning space. We're going to be looking at a very special object, and this object is inside this amazing Aron Kodesh here. So I'm going to open it up so we can take a look. Now, this Torah was donated to the Jewish Museum in March 2017 by a lovely congregation called Hillock Hebrew Congregation in Manchester. Now, this congregation is a really small congregation, and they decided to donate the Torah to us because this Torah was no longer kosher. It was no longer fit for purpose to be used in synagogue services. And that is because if we opened it up, we would see that some of the writing, some of the words would have been worn away. And they didn't have enough funds to get it repaired by a sofer. So they specifically wanted to give it to us to be used in an educational setting so that school students would be able to see a real Torah up close. Now, if we take a close look at this Torah, we will be able to see that it is an Ashkenazi Torah. Now, when we refer to the word Ashkenazi, we mean that this Jewish community, or objects relating to this Jewish community, has its roots in places like Germany, Eastern Europe, places like Russia and Poland. Okay. So, when we look at the mantle, the covering of this Ashkenazi Torah, we can see some Hebrew writing. And this Hebrew writing says, "For the Torah shall come forth from Zion, and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem." Now we sing this phrase when we take the Torah out of the ark in synagogue, and it's from the Hebrew Bible. Now, a few other things that we may notice about the mantle of this Torah is that it has lots of Jewish symbolism on it. We can see some lions of Judah, and we can see the 10 Commandments over here. We can also see that it has its yad over there. And this yad was donated with this Torah. Now, I have a very special connection with this Torah, because when I first started at the Jewish Museum, I led the project that helped design and make this beautiful Aron Kodesh that we wanted to keep the Torah in. And I can only imagine how many Simchat Torahs that this Torah has seen over the years. That is it from me and this wonderful learning Torah. Now we're going to go back upstairs.
Okay, that is all from us today.
Thank you so much for joining us.
And Chag Sameach.